Hi, welcome to LB0 Fox India Norwegian Adventures. It's still winter in Norway. It's still really cold. This winter has been terribly cold, to put it mildly. It's been about -10 for a month now. Today it's -8, so it's a little bit, let's put it a little bit warmer than usual, but -10 degrees centigrade is not warm. But I was out here a couple of weeks ago, same spot, with the rebuilt EFHW I antenna. And I had one of these spools. I'm going to move a little bit closer for you here. One of these little spools here with a EFHW I on and the balun from Colin MM0PX. And I figured, what if I want 80 meters in the same compact package? Well, made a little bit of a 9-to-1 on here, on just a small plate here. Got a connection here for the radial net and for the driven element, and a 9-to-1 balun. And this antenna, which is about 20 meters long, is good for 80 through 10, but with a tuner, and it's a random wire antenna. It's not going to be the most efficient thing, but sometimes you want the ability to quickly switch bands and use all of the bands. So I'm going to set this up. We're going to hook the radio up to the tuner. We're, of course, going to be inside the car since it's so cold. And then we're going to see which bands I can tune this on. And most of all, if we can get this park on the air. So let's do as we usually do. Let's set everything up and then take a look at the station and try to tune the bands. And, well, you know the drill. You've seen my channel before. Let's go ahead and see if a homemade 9-to-1 is any good. And this 9-to-1 is made with T14043, just because that was what I had in hand. But that means I can do 100 watts on this. And with a random wire type antenna, doing 100 watts is usually a good thing. So let's go ahead, put this on the mast and set everything up and then get going. And I do, of course, have plans to put this 9-to-1 plate on probably Thingiverse, but maybe Maker World, the usual 3D printing places, printables and such, just so you can replicate this if you'd like to. It's not particularly hard to build. The challenging part here and was actually getting everything to fit together. I'm going to hook this up to the mirror on my car somehow. I'm not really sure how yet. Let's see what I got inside the car. And I've said it before, elastic hair bands is one of the smarter gadgets you can keep in your kit. Let's just see if we can get this through here. And I got another elastic headband here, or hairband, which we're just going to do that. And that way we have some doingy here. Not really sure if this will do the trick. Let's go ahead and test it though. And what I've shown you now is that even though you're a YouTuber, you don't always get the mast up very well. And it's by no means a perfect deployment. You can see that the balun here kind of dongles against the car here. I'll see if I can get the counterpoise out and do something about that. That again goes up into the Little Dude 6, and as you saw, I had some troubles erecting the Little Dude 6. And as with the previous antenna, I do have some fishing line here at the end of the antenna wire, just to tie it off and keep it small and compact. Then I just tied it off to this branch, and it's just dangling down there as a counterweight. So yeah, that's my antenna deployment. Let's get the counterpoise out and then we'll see what we can tune this antenna on. And yes, I know there's going to be some interaction with the car and the carbon fiber mast, but then again, it's a random wire antenna. It's a 9-to-1. You need to use a tuner, so hopefully we'll mitigate those issues. I also know that the deployment is far from perfect. That is by intention, in order to be a little bit compromised and show you guys that it doesn't always have to be perfect. You don't always have to use the best everything in order to make something work. Sometimes it can be a compromise, and sometimes it can be a good compromise and still work, or a really bad compromise. Portable radio is full of compromises. So that is the nature of the game. But let's get these 5-meter counterpoise wires out, and it's my usual counterpoise net. 8 5-meter long radials here. And it is cold. It has been cold for a while, so every wire is a bit stiff. And I know some of you guys are probably going to say that, well, you don't need 8 radials. Some are going to say you need 1 longer radial. Some of you are going to say that I need 32 radials, 16 radials, whatever. Honestly, go ahead and put that in the comments, but I don't really care. I figured out that as a common denominator for this, having 8 radials at about 5 meters works for most of my antennas that need some kind of radials or counterpoises. And of course, the reason I am doing this with a random wire antenna is that I do have a wild idea. I am gonna do a 160 meter POTA at some point soon. Not sure if I'm gonna film that or not, due to, well, some obvious reasons with lighting and everything when 160 is open. And the most practical antenna to use then is a random wire type antenna, because I can keep a 160 meter antenna relatively short. And with relatively short, I mean at about 47 meters in length. So there we go, radial spread out, not perfectly, but good enough. Let's get some coax on the radio setup and we'll take a look at the station. So let's go ahead and see if we can tune this. We're an 80 meter, ready. Let's press the button and see. 1.28 on 80 meters with this one. Let's check 40, and just sorry for things moving around a little bit. I don't have a tripod here. 1.02 on 40. Let's check 30. 1.07. 20. 1.15. 17. 1.07. 15. 1.77. Good enough. 12. 1.08. Hope you can see this. And 10. 1.11. And as you can see, the station of the day is the 706 Mark II-G and the AT100M. And there's nothing new and revolutionary with this setup. It's just that it's on a spool, it's compact and easy to pack away, it's easy to tear down, and it's easy to deploy. So it's a random wire antenna. If you want to take a look at these spools, I'll leave a link down below to where I found them. They're about $4 or $5 a piece, so not very expensive and easy to get started with. But what do you say? How about we start a POTA and call for a little bit and see what we can do. And I'm going to, as usual, show you a couple of contacts. We're going to show the map and the end, and then draw some conclusions, given that my battery holds. Please go again with your call sign. Over.
Lima Bravo 0 Foxtrot it's Canada 3-1 Mike Oscar.
Charlie 3-1 Mike Oscar. Thank you, Michelle. You're about a 5x5 in the clear. A little bit of QSB on you. Over. Charlie 3-1 Mike Oscar, that is QSL, 5x5, 55, over.
Thanks for the 5x5, you 5x3, picking 55, I have a little QSB. Thanks for the contact, good, Isaiah. And have a nice weekend. Lima Bravo Zero, Foxtrot Italy. This is Canada 3-1, my contact. In QSY. Bye-bye.
Thank you, and thank you very much. You're my first Andorra contact, so this is great. 73s. So, relatively good activation there. I got 43 in the log, but more surprisingly, I managed to get QSOs on all bands between 10 and 80. I started out on 10, got one QSO on 10, which was Andorra, which I think was my first Andorra QSO ever. Then went on to 12, got QSOs there, 15, 17, 20, got a lot of QSOs on 20, 40, got a couple of QSOs on 40, even Lima Alpha 2 United Sierra Alpha over on the west coast of Norway, which was really nice. I don't think I've ever logged him on HF, only on DMR, I think. So that was nice. Went on to 80, got two QSOs on 80, which actually surprised me. Not that the antenna tuned on 80, but that I got QSOs on 80 at this time of day where 80 should be closed. It was relatively quiet though, and I cheated a little bit with one of the QSOs and sent a text message to a nearby buddy to spot myself. But QSOs from 80 through 10 on this antenna, 43 in total, and all across Europe, from Finland in the east to Spain in the west, and all the way down to Sicily. So yeah, I am happy. This antenna performed a lot better than I thought. I thought this was going to be more of a compromise than it actually turned out to be. As I said, I'm going to release this this unplate that I made over on Thingiverse and similar, probably at least Thingiverse and perhaps other places as well. So I'm going to link that down below. I'm also going to give you a link down below to where you can get those winders that I've been using for a couple of antennas lately. Makes for easy and compact antennas. So if you want to go ahead and build something like this, well, this is a great start. This plate only works for a 9-to-1. I've custom tailored it for a 9-to-1, but there are also options if you want to do 4-to-1 or if you want to do 49-to-1, whatever you want to do. I also have another winder. I kind of want to incorporate, or I got another reel. I kind of want to incorporate that in Rubikov design. I'm just not sure how to do that yet though, because somehow you got to attach the reel to the top of the mast, which is not going to be an ideal solution, but we'll see what I can do. If I can make a reel up Rubikov, that'd be awesome. So let's see what's possible and what can be done. Anyhow, that's it for today. By the time you watch this, I am probably at the Norwegian Ham meeting, where a lot of us guys from the European Ham Radio Show are going to be, both the people in Discord and all of the 5 hosts, as I think. So it's going to be great. Well, I'll see you down the bands. I'll see you in my next video. 7-3, my friends.